All right, I had a Red Wings question for you.
All right.
This Alex Lyon situation, I sent a tweet out when the game was 2-2, and I said, I don't care how this game ends. Alex Lyon's already one of the 3 stars. And he ended up getting chased or whatever. That man was on a pace to face 60 shots yesterday.
Yeah.
Is this Alex Lyon thing, is what I'm seeing real? Is it a guy that's just on a good streak? Because what is he, 30? Something like that?
Yeah, but I think it's the water always finds its level, and it was last year when Florida was making their run and Bobrovsky was down the stretch and Alex Lyon got them in the playoffs until Bobrovsky was there. So it's it's telling you that this is what this guy is. He's and you know what, you're gonna argue, is he a number 1 guy? I don't know, but he's definitely a number 2. Right? And he's fought that way, but right now he's a number 1 guy. And that's the one thing is you understand, and we all watch it. He did everything. He still made some unbelievable
He was incredible last night.
So that's why you got to get him out of there when the things, no matter what you do in front of you, it's just going to be, for lack of a better term, that was an avalanche last night by Colorado. So, yes. And the one thing that I like is if you look at interviews with Alex Lyon or whatever, he's got that goaltender demeanor of putting everything behind him. And some guys say that they put everything behind them, but we know that they don't, or they still bother him just a little bit. But to him, I think he just, next play, next play, next play. So you're good enough to get in the playoffs. You're good enough to win in the playoffs with him, right? So it hasn't been him. It's just the fact that what you're coming up to now, Neil, is the fact of how many games has he played, and has he played that before, and will he break down? But if there's any sign, can Reimer or Husso, if he gets healthy, come in and right the ship? Because it doesn't matter who's making the saves if somebody has to.
All I know is Friday night's huge. Gotta have it. Mm-hmm. Gotta have it. And it's tough because it's a road game. I understand that. Gotta have it.
No. It's not. It's not tough. It's a road game. You've proven that you can go in on the road and whatever like this. So you put that out of your mind, and you know what? You have confidence because you have experience this year playing and winning in different places. So you just write that game off.
4 of the next 5 are against Arizona and Buffalo, of course, with a game in Vegas mixed in there as well. Like that road stretch has been a gauntlet, man. This schedule has been a gauntlet. But hey, you know it going in. Everyone's got to go through it, man. So you got to get your shit together.
And look where you're at. Just
everybody
take a deep breath. Where's the stand? You can still control. Keep those teams under you, behind you.
You brought up something earlier too, and I want to ride off the Red Wings discussion with this. And this is off the board here, but you brought it up, so I'm curious about it. You talked about Sakic put together a champion at Colorado.
Absolutely.
Put together a champion, bona fide champion. Steve Yzerman, we hope, we think, we expect that he's going to do the same here in Detroit. These guys were elite players in this game. Is it just that they're winners? Why? Because being a GM,
winners in passion. Their number 1 love, and this has nothing to do with your kids or your family or anything, is hockey. Is the game of hockey. Like, that is what they think about more than anything else in this world, right? And it's winning. And it's stuff like that of how to do it, right? Like, Stevie isn't happy, but he realizes we're all good with task at hand, right? So it's about building something and seeing the way that Sakic had to do it in Colorado, too. They're just further ahead.
Right.
But we take a lot of what they have to do with their star players and how the money goes and stuff like this of what you're going to have to deal with in the future. So, yeah, it is that so they're number 1, and I don't know, it could be either way. Neil, in this case, winning could be more important than hockey, and hockey could be more important than winning. I think those two are interchangeable, but that's both those guys, number 1 and 2. And Chris Draper's the same way. All these guys that live at the rinks.
So it's that simple. It's like they're winners, and they got a love
obsessed.
for it.
Obsessed.
With winning.
Obsessed. Like, and I get it, because I'm the same way with the plan. Right? That at the end all be all. That's the way that they are. That's what makes them tick. Thinking about watching, like they love it. Right? They love it. Like, absolutely, there's nothing they'd rather be doing than watching hockey or making decisions to build.
And that's why, D-Mac, because, again, I always look for, I have feelings, and I sometimes I can't verbalize them and explain them as good as somebody else can. And I think you just verbalized it perfectly as to why, because people say, like, well, Yzerman's got 5 years, like, you're a Steve Bott or whatever and stuff like that. But for me, D-Mac, that he's a winner, and he wins. And he's gonna win.
Yeah,
because there's no other outcome.
He won't
there's
be
no other outcome.
Right, he won't be denied. He's got to find a way to get to the finish line. And he proved it as a player. He's already proven it as a GM with another organization. When you listen when he talks, his number one priority is building this so that we can get back to it's being the playoff team every year, and being a contender every year. So we can get back, and all the young fans who've never experienced it and only have to listen to us old guys on the lawn, blowhards, tell you how it was back in the 90s and stuff like this, right? You get to experience yourself, and that's the only thing, is trying to, pave the way so that you can see it and understand it properly of where you came from.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jump in there, get your thoughts out there. But we are wrapping up this Red Wings discussion.
Mike G actually doesn't make any. This is a great comment, right? Steve Yzerman is as fierce a competitor as Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas on the court, right, is Steve Yzerman also too. Yes, they're 100% that same fierceness. Like it's a life or death to them. That's how important it is.
No, and that's what it was, and that's a great comp, because Steve Yzerman and Isaiah Thomas are on the exact same footing to me in this town, where they came in and took over something that was nothing, literally nothing, and they put it all on their back, the entire thing, and won championships with it all on their back, the ultimate competitors. And I still say to this day, Isaiah and Stevie Y nationally are sold short for what they're accomplishing. Could you imagine taking an entire franchise that has nothing and you put it on your back and you rise it up to one of the greats in the history of the sport? Like, think about that, D-Mac.
I just held the ladder.
You see what I'm saying, though, man? Like, you were there.
He just needed guys to hold the ladder. I was holding the ladder, bro. Make sure you didn't fall off.
I don't know, man. Like, Stevie and Isaiah, dude.
Like, yeah, no, absolutely. And
they don't get the acclaim nationally they should.
Like, sort of the spark to the culture. You needed everything else, and Scotty to come in and do different things, and Chuck Daly to come in, and the way to put the recipe together. But those are the main ingredients. They're the flour.
And it's very much like one of the more Detroit things ever, because Stevie Y came in with Gretzky and Lemieux. You know what I'm saying? Like Gretzky and Lemieux, like they got all the national acclaim and all that kind of stuff. And then Isaiah was the same way with Magic and Bird, and then it moved into Jordan. But there they were, doing their thing and winning. And nationally, they don't get the acclaim, man.
Detroit versus everybody 20 years before.
It's something that's always bothered me, man. Always. And we've done this show 100 times, man.
Yeah,
you've heard me say it 100 times.